think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you? That I don't think that he's good.
Good morning. Hello. Thank you so much. If you are live in the chat, thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you. Thank you. And we are here for a live Peacock, Bravo, Real Housewives of fill in the blank city, any type of Bravo, Peacock related, extra news, extra activity, whatever these ladies have going on, and the husbands and the boyfriends. So welcome into Sandra P's Gen Extra. I appreciate you, each and every subscriber. And if you're someone that just types me in to find me and then watches, or if YouTube just suggested it and you are not a subscriber at this time, please consider subscribing. Go ahead and subscribe, because I have in my mind a time frame which I would like to reach 1,000 subscribers. And I appreciate everyone that is here already and everyone that is soon to come. So I'm just naming it, claiming it, like the Clark sisters. So we'll start out with something that's a little fun for Bravo activity. I have something that it's kind of cute. I'd like to show you. Okay. And this show is on hiatus, but here we are. Can you recognize who the baby is? Miss Jackson, thank you so much for joining me during the live. It's good to see you. I have a couple of Bravo extras and I just got started. I just did the welcome. So welcome, Miss Jackson. Thank you so much for coming in. And as always, I appreciate your support. Thank you. So this is the time where we can talk about anything Bravo, Peacock, any other shows, the husbands, the wives, the boyfriends. I slipped up on some information when I was consuming other media, Sirius XM. So I'll play that phone call. Toot, toot, good morning. Toot, toot. Toot, toot came in, good morning. And she waved, good morning to you. I was filling in Miss Jackson. This is extras, Bravo related, Peacock related, anybody that has anything to do with the shows. I was sent some things. I found some things. So we'll just have a free for all and just talk. So I appreciate it. And it is a hit. Miss Jackson proclaimed it. Real Housewives of Rhode Island is a hit. And Miss Jackson, I think it's a hit because the ladies are just being real. Nobody's trying to act or anything like that. I see a little bit of fakery going on. And I think we know that that's probably Kelsey. That's one of the stories. Ophelia Burkhart, welcome in. Thank you so much. We're talking Bravo extras. And Miss Jackson just proclaimed Real Housewives of Rhode Island a hit. I agreed. I think the viewers agree. So I feel like I was in the middle of saying I feel they're real because they're new. This is their first season. It's not a reboot. And the only one they have on that could kind of taint things would be Dolores, but she's a friend of. Thankfully, we haven't seen too much of her, and she's not needed. So I'm just going to show you some. Agreed. Thank you, Miss Jackson. I'll just show you something cute. See if you can recognize the baby first, and then I'll play it.
Soror, honey, said that we were recycling the girls down to the TV show. Recycling, and that we was pillaging and rummaging through the recycle bin.
Who's the confused
said
baby?
that we were bringing on new girls that were recycled.
Oh, that was Robin.
Oh,
Robin said that.
But the thing
that was
about
not Giselle.
Yes, but
Yes.
the thing about it is,
Yeah.
men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't. And we've done very, very well.
Yeah.
I think we have actually done better than Potomac and also Salt Lake City. Yeah, the numbers.
Why?
I'm just saying we're good.
Robin wasn't even talking about Married to Medicine. She was talking about Atlanta.
No, she was talking about Married to Medicine too.
Okay.
And that's my Torah. That's my good
Well, you
sis.
should take that up with Robin.
No,
Not
I'm just
Giselle.
saying.
We are two different people.
No, I do understand.
Okay.
Y'all don't even look alike.
No.
But I think both of you kind of chimed in on it. I said, oh, well, we got to talk about this.
I really don't think I did.
Yes, but we got to go back and run it.
We'll run it.
Run that beautiful
Run that
footage.
thing. Oh, run that thing.
Are we mentioning recycling? That's what it looks
Who's
like.
that? She coming back. Good morning, Kiwan J. And she proved her point. She's over there rolling that bean footage, and Baby Quad has Baby Andy. Ain't he messy, Miss Jackson, kicking his feet up in the air to like, whoop, whoop. Good morning, Kiwan J TV. It is good to see you during a live. So that is actually a good segue because the Married to Medicine ladies are off the air right now, but Real Housewives of Potomac, they're not coming back yet, but we've heard of the cast changes. I want to find that really quickly. So the babies, of course, were they were in the clubhouse. Baby Quad was getting baby Giselle together, who was confused, honey. Giselle did not know what was going on. Whoop, whoop. And Andy knew what was going on, and he loved it. He loves the housewives that can read. And Quad's not a housewife. That's a standalone show. But love or hate Quad, Quad can get the girls together. And I don't love or hate anyone, but I'll just say some of the characters as they portray on TV, I like better than others. Quad is someone, over the years, my feelings on her go back and forth. She can never be a favorite because of, to me, the way she treated Mariah. I just find her to be kind of duplicitous and a little bit of a fraud, but that doesn't stop her from being entertaining to me. So I was glad that she was able to get Giselle together. And what I'm doing now, I'm looking up the cast calling for the new, not even new, well, new season, the new season. So we know who has been like called back and who hasn't been called back for Real Housewives of Potomac. So as we all know, Sandra P's cloak of immunity, which is kind of a veil of protection for the first season Housewives. And then I've made an executive decision. I can extend it if I need to. And I did need to extend it over Shamia, who is still the master of disaster. Shamia, who has all of the things that you need on paper, is actually, she's doing pretty terrible. And I hate to see it, y'all. I hate to see it. And I know she wants it so badly. And that's the bad part about it. She's just not able to execute. It's coming off really cringe. So Angel from Real Housewives of Potomac did not. Now, I'm not sure. She's not returning. I'll say that. But I follow her on Threads, and she never said whether or not she was offered a contract and decided to come back or not. So I don't know what happened with Angel, but I leaned both ways. I was thinking maybe with what she went through, she doesn't want to come back. So that could be it. Or maybe Bobby didn't want to come back. That could be it. I'm not sure, but we know that there's no Angel for the upcoming season. So we'll just go through some of the Bravo news on this. I'm going to share my screen again. Let me take Baby Quad down for now. I'll probably refer to that again because that just cracks me up. Miss Jackson pointed out Baby Andy sitting there in his sock feet, instigating. But that we know that's Andy. Honey, Andy loved to get between some women business, as Nene would say. But I'm grateful for Andy because he's given us a lot of entertainment over the years. But then at times, Andrew Cohen gets on my nerves. And then I'm going to read some comments. I see there are comments in the chat. I'm trying to pull up, let's see, the Bravo extra that I have. So I'll stop there and then pull up the other thing that I want to share. Okay, there we are. Robin Dixon returning. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, Robin Dixon returning to Real Housewives of Potomac as a friend in season 11. Shady Pooh, alongside a cast of familiar faces. And he loves some Giselle. The clip they're using is a Watch What Happens Live clip. Yuck. So they said we have major intel on the cast for season 11 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. So obviously, Andy Cohen doesn't really listen to what the viewers say, and he doesn't really care what the viewers say because we begged him, please, no more Ashley Bobblehead Darby. Please, 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 or at least make her a friend of. Andy Cohen said, nope, not doing it. She's back. Robin is back. And I'll show you. I think they put up the whole thing because I know I've seen it other places. So let me just read through the article here and then we'll discuss it. I'll pull up some comments. We have major intel on the cast for season 11 of RHOP. On Friday, April 10th, it was confirmed Robin Dixon will return to the group as a friend of. So Robin, I heard she rejected that before, but now, I guess in this economy, she's decided that she's not too good to be friend of. Okay, now what I'm interested in is Andrew Cohen going to be as firm and as strict on their outside endeavor? What is that podcast, that Green Eye Bandit podcast that they do and talk about the show where Robin told the audience to kiss her A and then spilled tea behind the paywall when Bravo, Peacock, NBC Universal was already paying her to spill tea on the show. But her and Juan basically told the audience to kiss AA. We always knew that from Juan. I actually like Juan Dixon. I think he's a mess. He's a disaster. But I remember all of those basketball players from my era. I have a space in my heart toward them. Are they terrible? Most of them, yes. Do I love them? Yes, I do, including Charles Oakley from Atlanta. He's a mess too, but I love him. So we're going to look back at Robin Dixon's time on RHOP. Andy, as if we needed reminding. Honestly, I'm not disappointed that she's coming back. I'm disappointed that Angel's not coming back. Jazzy, I don't feel any way about, for or against. And I'm disappointed that Ashley Bobblehead Darby is coming back with no storyline except for made up stuff. So it says The Real Housewives, she joined in season 1. So Robin is an OG. I consider season 1's OG. If you came season 2 or later, you would be a veteran, but not an OG. Someone like a Portia Williams, who is the face of a franchise, I would call her an honorary OG, but she's a veteran more correctly. So during her time on the show, she's taken fans inside her ups and downs with her friends. We'll see. As well as her life at home as a mom to her sons and her relationship with one-time ex-husband Juan Dixon. In fact, they reconciled and remarried during her time on RHOP. Now, Andy, you know that Robin didn't share a lot of that. That is what got her fired. She spilled that tea behind the scenes and on their Green Eye Bandit podcast. We did see, I think, a picture or something. She was on location somewhere in the Caribbean. She stuck her middle finger up and she said, whoever don't like it, kiss my A. That's Robin Dixon. And she's still not liked by the fan base. You can see the BravoCon. I've covered myself, but I'm in front of that in Vegas. I went to BravoCon. Every time Robin Dixon opened her mouth, she got a loud chorus of boos. And when she got checked, as she did by Alexander Rogers, is another content creator, stood up and asked her the shadiest question ever. They were applauded. So Robin's not loved, but she's, you know what? Robin might be relishing her villain edit. Maybe she likes that. I don't know. So she grew her brand during her time on the show to include her hat line. Y'all remember them terrible bedazzled hats? And her podcast with Giselle, reasonably shady. That's it. Eminem was actually suing them. She brought that up and thought it was funny. Y'all, Robin is a trip. Robin is a person. Robin's, as we know, 60% white woman. Robin gives very little Fs, and she'll get mad at that statistic, even though that's what the 23andMe said. As fans will recall, Robin stepped away from RHOP after season 8. She was paused. I like the way Bravo TV is putting this. They're trying to be cute. Robin didn't step away willingly. Robin was paused. Okay, I don't care about her morning routine. The boys are big. Look at Juan with them dimples. Oh, I am so glad Juan Dixon is there. I want to know how he's going to show up because I know they missed that Bravo check. The boys are grown. They look like a mini Robin and Juan combo. I love that, y'all. I have a special place in my heart. No matter how terrible the parent is or the housewife is, I always like their kids. There's only one I don't care for, and that is Michael over on Married to Medicine. And I hope he grows out of that obnoxious personality that he has. I don't care for him. Okay, they actually they didn't show it. If it comes up, if I see it, I'll share that. Okay, so I'm going to go through and read the comments. Keywan JTV is breaking news here and actually making a statement. I won't be reviewing. I really get to use that. Okay, look at that. Breaking. Keywan JTV is my fellow content creator. If you're not over there, please go. She said that she will not be reviewing RHOP. Wow, that's news, Keywan J. Is it because of who is returning or who isn't returning? Or a combination of both? Y'all know they took out the good old paper bag test again to see who they're going to cast. That might be controversial, but I've always thought that about Potomac. And looking at it now, I think Wendy, you in danger, girl. Wendy's in danger. Wendy is in danger. Clear and present danger. We'll see. And now Giselle's already shading Wendy. I can call her my friend. Remember, she said that down in the trip they had that Giselle hosted. Y'all, this is terrible. So Keywan J's not reviewing. I wasn't going to watch or review, but I think I am, because I think, y'all, Wendy is, she's a veteran at this point. She's returning. She's going to need my cloak, because they're getting ready to drag Wendy through the streets of Potomac, or as Karen put it, where Karen said she lived, Nutbush, somewhere. Robin, you did all of this. Why are they bringing her back? Thank you. Miss Jackson, I don't know. You know what? I do know. I think Giselle has been lobbying hard behind the scenes, but Robin is straight up disrespectful. So I don't want to hear NBC, Universal, Andy, any of them crying when she gives them her Ada kiss like she did the audience. And she will. Robin is disrespectful. She's going to remain that. Y'all remember they had the 10 million views thing or whatever that was for their, or spins, the podcast. And she didn't even show up for that. She could have been Mike. Cookie got a mic. She didn't even show up for that. Key1JTV, Michael will be so glad to see Juan Dixon. He might even come back for that. Let's see if Ashley Darby can get her old husband, Michael, because that was a big part of her storyline. Good morning, American Born. Great to see you. Thank you so much for catching the live. I appreciate it. You already in here laughing? Yeah, this is a trip. Everybody's saying good morning to American Born. Thank you. It's both, yeah, because of who's returning, because of who is not returning. My view is I don't like one season wonders. So I don't love the fact that Angel didn't come back. I can understand why they felt like Kierna didn't need to come back, but they'll never admit it. We know Kierna only got that flute because they were scared she was going to sue them after Sesame Street and them jumped her down on Sesame Street at the club. So that's the only reason I feel like they brought her in. But I liked Kierna, and I feel like she did have a story, but I don't know. She was really weird her second season and her first full season with the flute. So I'll consider her as somebody who kind of like a one season wonder, because everybody liked her and wanted her most. Friend of. Then when she was full time, she got so much criticism, well deserved, because I just thought she was angry and just doing too much and smothering Angel and her growth, not ushering her in the right way. But again, the so-called mother, Karen, was not there. She was locked up. Then they let her out locked up. So I don't know. I think that both of them kind of got a raw deal. I think we would have seen a different Kierna, but she didn't get to come back. Jazzy did way too much at the reunion. Way too much. American Born says, you know, Giselle wants her back. Yeah, and American Born, I think that's a big part of her being back. I think Robin Dixon has a lot to thank Giselle for, the fact that she has her job again. I think Juan got hired somewhere. Juan Dixon, where are you working at now? I don't know. I have to look that up. But yeah, I'll be glad to see Juan Dixon back, y'all. Juan is hysterically crabby to me. One time Robin was on, I think they might have been in Cabo. They were on a trip and the ladies were getting on her about something, and she called Juan like Angel called Bobby, and Bobby start like dragging the people and talking about him like a dog. Juan's like, Robin, I don't want to hear this. I'm cursing one of the women out, Robin. But it's about him that he wanted to curse him out. He's not a protector of Robin. I don't like that, but Robin loves it, so I guess I have to too. And let's see if there's any more comments, and then I'm going to go into the next category. Meanwhile, I'll still be looking for the graphic that showed what they're actually going to do as far as the new cast that's coming back. Okay, we have some Real Housewives of Rhode Island news. Let's see if I can put these ladies behind me. Real Housewives of Rhode Island, and Miss Jackson has proclaimed that a hit. I say the same thing. I think it's a hit as well. So let's see. Let me move to the side. That's Rula and Liz. Rula and Liz. Rula and Liz. And then let's see if I have a cast photo of them. No, that's something new called In the City. If I find the information I have on that, I'll talk about it. I'm on the fence with that. I don't like the looks of the cast. Low key, I don't like the looks of the cast. So there are our new stars, Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And the first bit of news, this was shared by one of our very own subscribers, American Born. I appreciate when you drop stuff in the inbox. I love it. So this is about Brian, who doesn't look like a cheater, the not tall, medium handsome, or handsome to her, and not dark. Brian Pontarelli, he's Rula's husband. Poor Rula. Rula's husband. I think I just had Rula. There go Rula. I feel bad for Rula, y'all. But again, that Alicia is kind of alluding to the fact that Rula was a side chick. So Brian they're still married. So it says North Providence podiatrist is at the center of the season 1 drama involving a 2024 affair. Y'all, I don't believe that it's just a 2024 affair. I think that it's still ongoing. Rula has stood by Brian, who claims the affair is in the past. Now, he didn't claim that during that scene. When he was accused of Joellen to his face, he's still cheating. Rula is the one that said, no, he's not. That's past. And Brian said, humana, humana, humana. He couldn't get it out. And Gary just sat there in a glitter jacket and kept Brian on the hot seat. So the affair allegations, another woman in April of 2026. That's the episode. I'll show the woman. American Born found the woman, y'all. So, and it's all alleged. It's all in my opinion. Let me take off breaking and put up the alleged and in my opinion banner again. And then everything I share really is covered under the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107. So it says that the affair allegations stem from, this came across on the show, Joellen showing photos of the woman sitting in Brian's lap. There's also other pictures of Brian and the woman at Rula and Brian's family home. I'm telling you, these garden tools know no bounds. Rula should have beat her up just on general principle. All right, tracking device. In October of 2025, Brian was accused of placing a tracker on a vehicle without consent, and that led to a misdemeanor domestic violence charge. So Rhode Island doesn't play about that. That's good. That was according to a Bravo TV report. Now, I'm not sure here it is, legal outcome. The criminal case regarding the tracking device was later dropped after Rula did not want to move forward. I was just going to say that. I bet Rula dropped the charges. Rula, you let this man track you, and he's the cheater. So on-screen drama, and we've seen this, everybody, because we're all caught up with this. They just did episode 4. Joellen Habiri is accused of spreading the photos of her husband, notes E! News. Now, in fairness to Joellen, allegedly it was in this woman's private social media. I don't know if she has Rula blocked or not, but when Joellen got wind of the pictures, she showed it to Rula and others in the group, because that's how they do in Rhode Island. And then Rula ended up getting mad at Joellen and defending Brian. So the relationship status, Rula stated she's still working on trusting her husband. Y'all, that's in Reddit. Now, Reddit is filled with users, and they can you can get in there and type anything. Castmates have speculated on the state of their marriage. And then there's a bunch of discussions going on Reddit. We saw this episode 4. Y'all feel sorry for Rula or not? I feel two ways. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to see any woman go through that. But then when you try to sympathize with a certain personality type, they'll tell you to mind your business. And some of them will go so far and say you're jealous and you wish you had a husband. I think K. Michelle said over in Love and Hip Hop, I may wish I had one, but I don't want one like yours. She told Rashida that about Kirk and his 3 earrings. So let's see. We already did that. Thank you. You're welcome. That's for me thanking her for the information she sent to me. Thank you. I think it's ongoing as well. I do too. I'm with Joelle, and I think it is. And quiet as it's kept, I think Rula does. Because when one of the aunties said you don't want to look over your shoulder the rest of your life or the rest of your marriage, Rula said that sticks with me. No, I don't want to look over my shoulders. So I'm going to share this next one, the screen for this next one, as I go through it. Let's see, we'll share again. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay, so it says everything we know. Everything we know about the Real Housewives' husband. I can't believe Brian is the one that's maybe the side star of this. Y'all, this is a mess. Rula briefly mentioned her husband on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island while addressing claims about her current husband, Brian. Oh, this is the ex-husband. Remember, she said that it's not respectful to speak on him. Brushed it off, said she didn't want to go there. And she's been married to Brian for 3 years already. Oh, somebody did some digging. Y'all, they went into Rula's old posts on Facebook. I keep waiting to meet a man who has more balls. So her first husband was weaker than Brian? Y'all, Rula doesn't know how to pick him. Rula, you need an arranged marriage, honey. In her culture, they can do arranged marriages. She needs somebody else to pick. Her picker's off. Sometimes our lives ought to be completely shaken up, changed, and rearranged. That's true. Divorce is not rampant in the Lebanese and Syrian culture. She did say that. The producer checked that she had been divorced in the past. Rula responded with, I'm not trying to talk about that. My family wouldn't love that. So yeah, that's true. She did do that. This is OMFG reality TV. Y'all excuse these sites. They have so many like commercials and stuff that come through. So excuse that. And I don't like cutting and pasting. So we'll just have to deal with the commercials. People are convinced Rula hasn't divorced Brian because of her culture, despite him allegedly being pictured with another woman. She appears to have scrubbed any evidence of her previous marriage, but people are speculating about what went so wrong. Who are these people? These are people that are close to Rula. I almost wonder if Rula was cheated on also in her first marriage. That's why she didn't want to talk about it and is so desperate to make this one work. Rula's claim she has to make careful decisions with children involved. But as we all know, the children already know what's going on, and it takes a toll on them. Look at Drew and Ralph over there. They have 2 small children, and they know what's going on. And then Drew's oldest, Josiah, I think he's suffering. So I hope that he's getting help for what Drew and Ralph are putting him through. This is just another person's speculation, y'all. They didn't give any real tea on that. Reality Shrine, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, they didn't give any real tea on that. So let me take that down and read some comments, and then I will share some of the other stuff that I have. All right, here's American Born. Rosie's being accused of having an affair at the news station, and her whole colitis story is a lie. American Born, I found that really funny when she volunteered that lie, because in the very next confessional, the next person did, which I feel like it was Chelsea. She says, I don't know why she's telling us this lie. Everybody knows that she was dating the higher ups and she got fired. We do know that when women have an affair at work, like I did a whole separate video on Kristen Cabot, I think it is, the woman that cheated with the CEO of a company and got caught on the Coldplay cam. Oprah did the most sympathetic interview known to man, and people still don't like the lady because I blame her. She was married, he was married, and he's still married to the same wife. And her husband were already going through a divorce, but she's not getting the treatment that he did, and she's actually mad about it. But yeah, I think that they did bring that up on the show. So Rosie, I don't know. Rich, do you know that Rosie is a cheater? And she wasn't married at the time, but the men that she was cheating with were married. So that is a trip. Okay, there's more news. More news related to, let's see, Chelsea. The judge is Judge Caprio, and it was called Caught on Camera or something like that. There is a whole video out of the granddaughter of Judge Caprio in the home that Chelsea claims to be living in. So I find that pretty funny. Chelsea is lying about her relationship status with this man, allegedly. And it's more like a situationship. The true part is that he does have other women and he is away from her like half the year. And the part that may be false is that she lives in the house and that she is still dating the man as like a serious contender. We know that she eventually wants marriage. She eventually wants children, but the Rhode Island streets are saying that that probably is not going to happen with this man. And generally, when somebody's been dating someone 10 years or more, I just don't see a scenario where he's going to choose her. So I feel a little sorry for her. Alicia is a standout star, and I found it interesting that they used her and they put her up there with Angela Oakley on the immediate Watch What Happens Live after that explosive episode where she and Rosie got into it a little bit. So I think that NBC Universal, Andy Cohen, all of them actually do like Alicia. I like Alicia as well. Liz is still my favorite, but I do like Alicia. I've taken Ashley under my wing and ushered her under the cloak of immunity. Really, the whole cast has it. Kelsey is busted and she better get a job. American Born, she told us, I don't want to work, but I can get a job if I want one. Now is the time. Miss Jackson thinks that Kelsey is a garden tool. I have to agree because really she has just named her price. She had another man interested, which is Bill. And she's saying, we've been together since high school. His mom used to pack my lunch. And you know that would be like a perfect little fairy tale story, but She tells us out of the other side of her face, he doesn't make enough money to keep her in the manner that she's accustomed to. So I find that kind of trifling. Okay, the next story is about Pinky Cole and Phaedra. Phaedra has responded. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just lost it. Phaedra has responded under the post that Pinky put in. And let me try to find this quickly. Pinky said something during the prayer slick about Phaedra's wig. I don't think I mentioned it during my review, but she did. She said something slick. And then she ends up kind of shading Phaedra's wig. The hairstylist, Phaedra's hairstylist, said something about it. And then he says that Phaedra's hair is always laid. Phaedra Parks herself responded under the post and compared Pinky's hair to a old tennis ball or something crazy like that. Phaedra, I don't love that because you're in a wig. I don't like the fact that you're going to make fun of somebody's hair and you're standing here in a wig. So I'm trying to find the post where they did all that. So and the thing about Atlanta's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I have some tea that I just happen to be listening to the radio, and one of the chefs that actually cook for them, and this is going to be at an upcoming event. This is Cynthia's tequila event. Cynthia has a tequila, which Shamia, how come you're not meeting with Cynthia and finding out about how to do that since you're doing a rum? Cynthia's successful with her liquor. American Born is laughing at Miss Jackson, thinks that Kelsey is a garden too. I happen to agree with that, Miss Jackson. American Born says, yes, the back and forth has been good with Pinky and Phaedra. Yes, now Phaedra, bring that to the show so you can earn your check instead of just giggling like Kay Michelle said. Y'all, I found it, so I'm going to share the screen, and then I don't know which one is the best one, but I'll share the screen, and then we'll go through that together. Okay, here we are. They're on TikTok. Is that on TikTok? No, it's Instagram. Okay, here we go. Y'all see all these mentions of this? Oh, it's more than one. I'm going to go through a couple. I'll go through a couple of these because I don't get in trouble for sharing these. Okay, let me.
15 plus years. What is the issue she has with me?
She playing with her business in the house, though. Phaedra's going around telling everybody how Pinky eat meat. When did I say she ate meat?
Shamia said you said she used to have a rib joint.
She did.
She ain't real. She eat meat in the closet.
Wait, I said she ain't real. She eats meat in the closet.
No, baby, no, I just said that.
You see how that got started? And I heard Kelly said it, y'all.
Before she started this vegan stuff, that girl used
This is no Chaser TV. I love Chase.
to serve meat, honey. She used to serve.
No way.
No, I think she's got bigger fish to fry than eating meat.
Oh, here we go.
I saw it on the Real News, and it was AJC, which is a credible news source.
Yeah.
I think Daily Mail, which is a huge international news source, that she was late on her rent.
Phaedra.
Hamburger is the least of your issues.
Hamburger.
Oh my God, the hamburger.
The Hamburglar.
I heard it.
So what are you bringing?
I have to bring the underwear.
You want to help with this formula? Because the formula is like over $4,000.
Baby.
Yeah. Did you know formula was $28 a can?
Why are you buying a $4,000 formula?
It has to be vegan formula.
Oh.
Well, hell, I'm fixing to try to pump again to give her some old powdered milk.
Pinky has asked me to supply a book bag, which is cool, but she's a book bag with toys, puzzles, and books, and notebooks, and crayons. And girl, let me just give you my Amazon account. You just order
Portia looks cute in that confessional. I like that brown leather.
what you need for the community, girl, okay?
If you mad at me about the meat,
Y'all take my donation.
Yeah.
I just have to give you a little blank check.
Not blank. Well, out of your account. Well, I got a problem with you.
Now, all of them are Shay and Pinky talk about not blank. And who's the first one? P. Willie. Come on, Portia. Portia's working.
Okay. Okay, was like, yeah, we're real close, but she has some issue with Phaedra.
And me and Pinky have known each
Right, I
other
thought
for
you and Pinky were-
15 plus years.
What is the issue she has with me?
She playing with her business in the house, though. Phaedra's going around telling everybody how Pinky eat meat. When did I say she ate meat?
Shamia said you said she used to have a rib joint.
She did.
She ain't real. She eat meat in the closet.
Wait, she
Says she eat meat in the closet. Now, Angela fill that in. Phaedra didn't say all that. Y'all, these ladies are a mess. This is going to be episode 4, so this is going to be funny, y'all. Phaedra and her blonde wig. Miss Jackson and the stylist is sensitive about it, too. I'm going to show what he was saying because Pinky said a little prayer and then shaded the wig. American Born is laughing. They are something else. Yeah, Portia looks good. American Born, she does. She looks great. We can't take that away from Portia. She's a mess, but she's a pretty mess. That was a Vanity 6 song. A nasty song, too. Such a pretty mess on my dress. Talking about like Monica Lewinsky type stuff.
It started January 31st at 8.
Oh, how did I miss that? Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to have to do this. I had it up there. I can't wait to see that movie. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go back. Okay, there we are. This is the stylist. This is the next one I was going to show.
So it's been brought to my attention that one of the new housewives said that we needed to pray for Phaedra's wigs. And I've been Phaedra's wig artist for about 5 years now. So I'm trying to see, when do we ever need to pray for Phaedra's wigs? Okay, I'm going to roll the clip and y'all tell me.
We pray for Phaedra wig and the conversation that Portia and K. Michelle about to have. Anything we pray, amen. Amen.
Oh my goodness.
All right, sorry about that. I don't want the music on there. He can lay a wig. He can lay a wig down. Okay.
I said that we needed to pray for Phaedra's wigs. And I've been Phaedra's wig artist for about 5 years now.
That's the neighborhood talk, everybody. Let's look at some of the comments. Phaedra Parks and her hairstylist weren't here for Pinky Cole's wig comment. Jacorian. And please don't bring Jacorian on the show. I'm sick of these people on the side coming up with something to say, just like the one that ended last season. As far as anybody named Angela, their husband's cheating on them, and that turned out to be a whole red herring. Someone named Debbie says, I'm really not feeling Pinky so far this season. There's nothing wrong with Phaedra's wigs. Actually, both newbies are doing too much for attention. So she's referring to Pinky Cole and K. Michelle. She said she don't like neither one. As told by Trinae, Phaedra and Portia here always eat down, so try again. Y'all, I think Pinky was joking. You mean wigs, because the real hair probably got bald spots. Definitely Phaedra's. Ooh, somebody said, well, you can't put a wig next to real head. Then I'll show you Phaedra's comment. One thing about Phaedra, her hair stay laid. Pinky barking up the wrong tree. She called that lady tennis ball head, and I can't unsee it. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think someone in a wig can speak on someone's real hair, no matter what they do with it. So Phaedra Parks' response, if you can see that, y'all, it says, a dirty, dry tennis ball head could never. Y'all know how a tennis ball look with that little bit of fuzz on it. I think Pinky's hair suits her. I think it's cute. That's just me. Let me read some comments. And he being messy. He all out here doing all of that. You could tell that that Pinky was joking. She even started giggling after she did that. And Cynthia was sitting right there in prayer holding hands. So Cynthia, why didn't you say something? My moderator, Cece, was in here saying, why didn't Cynthia say something when Phaedra and also Portia, who were not there, were being shaded by the people that were there? K. Michelle and Pinky, the two newbies. If this is my lawn man, y'all, I'm going to scream. Y'all know I told you every time I go on a live, here he come. He ain't been this consistent in a long time. Okay, yes, Portia looks good. You know how it is when you get together and embellish. Yeah, American Born. I think Pinky was just joking around. Again, first episode, I didn't care for Pinky. Second episode, and then the scene with her husband, Derek, I have a little more compassion for her. So I'm going to cover Pinky and more of the news that I just stumbled upon listening to my Sirius XM subscription. I was listening to the Karen Hunter show. I love them. And they are channel 126 on the Sirius XM dial. It's Urban View. And the chef that is going to cater Cynthia's event, her tequila event, called in. He's based in Dallas. And Cynthia has a tequila line. And her number one city that purchases her product, because they narrow everything down, Shamia, you can actually track who your market audience is, where they're spending the most money. So Cynthia is going to do an event for her tequila brand as a friend of, y'all. As a friend of, she has a full event coming up where they're recorded and they shoot a couple of scenes. And y'all, this is where Pinky and Angela get into it. Now, we know that there was foreshadowing. We saw a few scenes or heard about Pinky saying, well, maybe I could have bought a couple of your foreclosed homes. And I'm like, I wouldn't do that because we know Pinky's going to file for business bankruptcy. But she and Angela are going to really go head to head. So that's a trip. American Born says they better leave K. Michelle alone. I agree, AB. I think they should, but K. Michelle's got to realize too, before she even started, she's arguing with Robin Dixon and Giselle over their opinion that she might not be a fit. And as we saw Baby Quad say, recycling the girls down to the Bravo or whatever. I'm going to show that again, y'all, because I found that video and I'm glad that I'm still able to share now. Necklace fell off. So let me see. My long guy does the same. I know, American Boy, and on his own schedule. I know you're an independent operator, but could check in with me sometime. A trip, and didn't even mow that much. He did something out front, and he's as is with the hedges. He do whatever he want with that. But I'm just glad that he's been faithful for 3 years. So I'm glad to have him. Okay, so let me see what else I was going to share with this guy. Yeah, he's very, very messy. And again, Andy, we don't need to see him. We don't need to see him. So that was the neighborhood talk. Let me see what else I want to share with that. One of them was No Chaser TV. Oh, that's him again. Oh, he responded to it. Let me see what he said. Oh, that's the same thing he said.
We ever need to pray for Phaedra's Wiggins? Okay, I'm going to roll the clip and y'all tell me.
We pray for Phaedra Wig and the conversation of Portia and K. Michelle about to have anything. We pray, amen. Amen.
Oh my goodness.
That was a joke. They're laughing. They're clearly laughing. I feel like the more egregious thing that Pinky said was that Phaedra's down to the funeral home eating dead people, to Phaedra's charge of Pinky possibly eating meat. And then we find out that she said, well, she used to own a rib joint. I could see Phaedra saying something like that off the cuff. And that, to me, that's nothing to have a feud about. So this is the Bravo Shade Room. Phaedra and her hairstylist clap back. I think they're trying to just see. Now, this is where they get on my nerves. Rhode Island has actual people that know each other, long-term friendships, and different beefs that can pop up, like we saw with Liz and Kelsey, because Kelsey dated Dino and had a different experience. And with Liz, allegedly, there's rumors that possibly she may have had a fling with Dino and him not dogging her out and mistreating her. And then the two of them making up. There's just a lot of different things. Whereas this Pinky eat meat and Phaedra eat dead people, that's not real beef. That's not something I'm impressed with. They're going to have to step it up. And then everybody out here is kind of dragging Pinky. Someone said Pinky needs to be praying for her finances. One thing Phaedra is going to do is show up for us. Never seen Phaedra with a bad wig. Her stylist be slaying. And so Jacorian answered under Phaedra Parks, a dirty, dry tennis ball head could never. He says, clearly the girls just be making stuff up. And then he laughs. Wigs have never been an issue over here. Let's be serious. Jacorian, you are not going to be the next Derek J. We don't want to hear it. Okay, we don't. All right, so let me go back and see what else. I'm going to read some comments and then I will let you listen to. Did I send you the cease and desist? Brian sent the mistress on Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Let me see whether or not I got that American Born. Yeah, don't bring up the deceased. Yeah, you don't even joke like that. I mean, again, it's fun shade. So if you don't know how to do that, you need to get some type of shade consultant or whatever. I don't know, call up an old housewife. Or like Nene said, Kelly sat down to dinner with her, whereas Britt was like, and didn't go over there. Britt didn't know how to fun shade either. So y'all, that's kind of crazy. But accusing somebody being a cannibal is not the same as a person accusing you of eating meat. And now we find out that Phaedra didn't say Pinky eats meat. She said, well, she used to own a rib joint. Now, Phaedra, that does allude to you are a carnivore. So now you running around talking about you're a vegan. So maybe you are not real in what you're saying. Okay, I got it. I have a message. Oh, that was another message you had sent to me. Let me see if it's on here. No, this is one with the aunts. Brian sent a cease and desist. That's the granddaughter. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Thank you. And let me see if I could. I'm going to see if I can show that American Born, because it has a picture of the woman, y'all. Again, that will be alleged in my opinion. And that lady is thirsty. She's been tagging Bravo and stuff like that. So you don't tag Bravo unless you want to be on camera or you want somebody to contact you and possibly bring you on an episode, which I hope doesn't happen. I don't want to see these side chicks on these shows. So I have a really bad feeling about that. Rula is the Real Housewife. Brian is the husband. He's, he may come on to escort her to events badly. I hope she don't bring him nowhere else, because I don't like how he treated her. Okay, let me go. I'm going to go back in there, American Born, because I did find it. All right, let's see. All right, let me see if there's any more comments. And I'm still looking for this. So the cease and desist from Brian, that's Real Housewives of Rhode Island news that's coming up. And AB says, I bet Phaedra's wig guy helps her with her reads. That's why she's so funny. They said that a lot of the housewives do that. And honestly, I hope that's not the case, because some of them can be funny and off the cuff and all of that. But the rehearsed reads, you can kind of tell. It's like they're looking for an opportunity to say, let me fill in the blank with this. That's what she gets, taking a picture in Rula's backyard. Yeah, I don't blame Brian for that. Again, some of these new mistresses, they don't know their place. Not that you should have a place on the outside of somebody's marriage, but again, they don't know their place. Okay, let me find this. Oh, they were showing Shamia's Airwick commercial. I shared that in the video that I did with about K. Michelle singing her song. Oh, just let me go veer toward Bravo related news. Is anybody going to watch Summer House? I don't watch Summer House, but I'm going to watch the reunion, because before I pull up this Real Housewives of Rhode Island thing, let me share this. All right, we already got that. Okay, there it is. I'm familiar. If you watch Traders, you would be familiar with Sierra from Traders.
In this space, and then there's here,
this dirty like looking wannabe is supposedly cheating. He's not cheating on Sierra because they don't go together no more. West has recently been found in a relationship with the married woman. They have one married couple on that show, which is Kyle and Amanda, and he's having an outward open affair station, and you might have got what you deserve. West shouldn't have been able to even sniff Sierra. Hey, Shayna McD is in here. This is a content creator and one of my internet friends, cousins, nieces. Thank you, Shayna McD TV, for dropping in during a live. AB says, actually, they said they were still fooling around and there was overlap. Yes, Wes recently did a podcast where he ignorantly says there was no overlap. Then he tries to lay down a timeline. But y'all, why is Amanda still married to Kyle and no divorce paperwork is anywhere in sight? So she's a married woman. You're cheating with a married woman. And he's like, give all the hate to me. Don't call Amanda a garden tool. A home wrecking garden tool. She's not a home wrecking garden tool. West is the home wrecking garden tool. And he's like, I'll take all the arrows for her. I think more people should be criticizing him. Amanda too, with her old long back. I can't stand her acting like she was Sierra's friend. Do you watch Summer House? ABS Kiwan J. Kiwan J, do you watch Summer House? I don't watch Summer House. There's another one over there too, Southern Hospitality. I've seen some good scenes on there, but I don't watch it. Yeah, I'm like you, Kiwan JTV. I don't watch it either. I'm only familiar with Sierra Miller because she was on a season of Traders, and she did pretty well too. American Born says, last night Jesse was on Watch What Happens Live and said he suspected something back in February. Yeah, when you go back and look at how they related to each other, you can tell that there was something going on in the past. So that, to me, that's crazy that the two of them would actually do that. Let me stop sharing this while I pull up what AB sent me in the inbox. Y'all, that's Rula and Liz on my screen, because I don't want to expose anybody else's email or anything like that while I'm looking for it. But I do have I was sent the Brian story where he's doing a cease and desist on the mistress, as he should, because this lady all in the backyard tagging Bravo and stuff. Lady, what is wrong with you? Again, these new side chicks, they don't know their place. And not that they should have a place, but please, I don't want to know all this stuff that's going on. I really don't. Well, I kind of do. But I mean, I don't like it for the wife that these women are out here and bold and proud and trying to be seen. I think that's crazy. Okay, I'm trying to get back to my messages. And let me read through a couple of comments while I'm trying to get back to my messages. Miss Jackson is kind of like me. She says, I only watch Married to Medicine and Housewives. Yeah, I used to watch now the Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. I watched both seasons of that. I did like it. I liked the concept of what they came up with. I love seeing young Black people chilling in Martha's Vineyard, but the cast got kind of, I didn't like them second season. And one of the lead characters, Amir, they allowed him to bring his girlfriend in, and she was able to kind of sow discord amongst the cast. And the lady that put everything together, Jasmine, her husband had been deployed, so he wasn't there. And I couldn't stand silence. But Silas was needed on that cast, I feel like. Because with Jasmine there, she's just like walking around lost. And then she was pregnant. So she wasn't drinking or getting into anything in the house. And then the people were trying to ice her out when she was the one that put all the pieces in place. And honestly, if you put pieces in place on Bravo, you got to be careful, because if you're dealing with disloyal people, they'll get you up out of there. Like what happened with Mariah. These ladies wouldn't even have a show, let alone 10 years later. And you had the nerve to ice up the creator. So they successfully did it on Martha's Vineyard. Now nobody's over there. Preston, he's in Threads and IG and everywhere else. Thirsty as heck. Probably over on Twitter or X. I don't go to Twitter or X. I really think Amanda only wanted Wes because she wanted to take him away from Sierra. AB, I think that too. I think that Amanda was always a secret enemy to Sierra. Because like I said, Sierra is what? A model and was an ICU nurse. She's top of the totem pole. And Amanda's probably like, oh, this Black girl, what does he want with this skinny Black girl? And he can have me and my long back. I don't like Amanda. I don't like the fact that they're trying to protect her. Kyle came out, and this is her husband. He comes out, he's being cheated on by her with a friend and a coworker. Kyle comes out talking about, I think people need to keep in mind Amanda's mental state. What about Sierra's doggone mental state? Like American Born said, they were friends. Sierra's friends. Wes started out as a friend to Sierra before she started going with him. That's why I really don't believe in converting friends into this other stuff. For me, I don't agree with that. Because if things don't work out in the romantic relationship, you also lose your friend. So after that scene they showed, this man went out and started cheating with his friend's wife after that. I like that one too in the beginning. Yeah, American Born, they had a really good start, Summer's House, Martha Vineyard. And then what they did in the second season, I didn't care for. Then the girl comes in talking about Nick is being touchy-feely. Nick was the one that was always dressed with the glasses. I like Nick. I think he was probably my favorite. Fake friend to Sierra, and she deserves all the hate she gets. Yeah, she keeps trying to poke her head back out on IG, and she just gets annihilated. Now, some of the people, I've watched some of the creators talk about it. They're doing a lot. They're doing a lot. But again, I think she brought that on herself. I don't really care. Like another show I used to watch before it got crazy was Love and Marriage Huntsville, and the side piece over there, Coleslaw. The husband, Martell, never stopped wanting to bring Coleslaw on the show. And Melody and Martell were the ones that put together the show. Well, he drove her to Atlanta to pitch the treatment. So he never stopped wanting to bring this side chick on the show that helped break up their marriage. I won't put her 100% responsible, but helped break up the marriage. I'm not going to watch any show that does that and people try to mention her and say her name and all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to give you shine on somebody else's stuff. I can't do that. They went to the Dodger game and they should have stayed hidden. American Born, it's hard to stay hidden when you want to be seen. And I think it was the Yankees. Was it the Yankees or was it the Brooklyn Dodgers? Yeah, it's hard to stay hidden when you want to be seen. I think that both of them want to be seen. Okay, here, it's showing me my messages. And let me find you in here and pull that up. I'll come back and read comments before I do that. Okay, wait a minute. I got a lot of messages in here, y'all. I'm not the best about, if you send me something, send it to Instagram or even TikTok. But I'll have to apologize just for, sometimes I don't check it for a few days. But I'm getting better with that because it does help me to receive information when someone gets it. Okay, here's the lady. Let me see. No, that's the aunts. Okay, here we go. Here we go, y'all. I'm going to share this now. Okay, so here we are. Real Housewife of Rhode Island husband. That's Ruler right there to my left. He's sues his alleged mistress for a breach of contract. I don't know how to expand this, but that's her right there in the middle. Let me see. I think. All right, there she is. You see the blonde lady? The blonde lady. So he sues her for breach of contract. I'm trying to actually read it. Let me see. Let me take that down because I don't want to expose anything about email address or anything about where it came from. Let me take that down. Okay, so he sues her for breach of contract. Did y'all get to see her picture? The blonde lady? Okay, and they put case summary and all that stuff up there, y'all. It's so small, I can't look at it. Let me bring it back up and see if there's some kind of way I can expand it. Oh, no. See, that's what I didn't want to do. 1 minute. Let me take that down. Anyway, they have the court paperwork and everything up there. If I can look at it and kind of fill in the blanks as to what it was about. Let's see. Breach of contract. Okay, now y'all, the contract. Let me show you the lady again. She's in the medical field as well. Now we know that Brian is a podiatrist, or as Alicia put it, he checks foots and he's checking more than feet. That's what Alicia said. So the breach of contract is evidently he must be a long-term cheater because he had an NDA. Y'all, there's another show that NDAs were mentioned on, not Real Housewives, Carlos King's Huntsville show, Love and Marriage Huntsville. There are two nasty brothers over there, the Scott brothers, and they cheat and have the women sign NDAs. So one of their friends that's also a running buddy in the streets, Chris Fletcher, brought up the fact that then the Scotts is the one having people sign NDAs. Now, I just want to ask for my own information. What kind of woman is going to have an affair with a man and sign paperwork that she's not going to out him if, she needs to? She needs to spill his tea or protect her own reputation. I just find that crazy. So these women evidently are out here signing NDAs, and that's why Brian ended up suing this lady. I can't see the details of the case because it is too small, but that is what the breach of contract is about. And Rula has yet to say anything about it. I wonder if that's going to be a part of the show. I wonder if that's going to come out. And let's see, I'm trying to expand it so I can just read a little more of it. Let's see. Brian Pontarelli versus, this is allegedly and in my opinion, but this is actually public document, y'all. So I'll go ahead and say it. Beth Walker. That was the blonde lady that you saw. And it's Brian Pontarelli is the plaintiff. Beth Walker is the defendant. And he's suing her for a breach of contract. And the case is filed in Providence. They have a file number and everything, y'all. So this lady's going to have to appear in court. Let's see. It looks like more than one plaintiff. Brian Pontarelli, and then it says something about Jessica Basso. I don't know why she would be a plaintiff. I don't know, but Beth Walker is the defendant, the one and only defendant. So that is the one that was also having an affair. Oh, I see what happened. She put out a text, and I can show this. She put out a text about her and Brian. Let me see. Is there a way for me to expand this? Y'all, I'm going to have to practice a little more behind the scenes. But this is her, Beth, and then something 22 Walker. That's her IG. So she says, truth, choosing medical grade skincare and laser treatment for 2.5 years isn't a lapse in judgment. It's a committed and intentional lifestyle. What is this lady talking about? Y'all, this is too much. So she mentioned something about Brian in there, something about the skincare. Now, Joe Ellen is in the skincare business. Joe Ellen, are your little fingerprints on this? Are your sticky fingers on this? Y'all, this is crazy. This lady is in the medical field. I don't know if she's in skincare or what. I can't see enough of her IG, but it was enough for Brian to actually put a cease and desist on her because she signed an NDA. So basically that the documents that they sign when people are cheating. And I'm sorry, let me see if Jerry Vet, welcome in. DG, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining during the live. Let me see if I missed anybody as they come in. Okay, let me go back because I see American Born commenting. If you just came in, American Born shared information with me about Brian and him suing this lady. Let me put this banner. Actually, I've seen this other places, but I just get a kick out of using this banner because I don't get to use it a lot. Breaking, y'all, breaking. So he has sued her for disclosing the NDA or what was in the NDA. Oh, we saw her good. Yeah, it was a blonde lady. She's in the medical field. So I don't know if she's into LASIK or, no, not LASIK, that's the eyes, laser skincare or what, but her post had something to do with that. Good morning, DG. Thank you for joining the live. And then American Born is laughing. So this is some of the gift that keeps on giving behind the scenes, Rhode Island. That is a trip. DG, we also talked about Pinky and Phaedra has an upcoming feud that's going on about. There was a prayer that Pinky did, kind of shady, praying for Phaedra's wig, and then giggling and laughing. Also Cynthia, also K. Michelle. And then Phaedra mentioning something about a dirty tennis ball could never, referring to Pinky's short natural. Y'all, that's too much. I think that's a step too far. I'm sensitive to naturals. Y'all see what I'm going through. I'm transitioning, so I'm twist right now, but it's going to lock. The whole Creep Squad at LAMH. Ooh, don't they give a new name to Creep Squad? The original one was Love and Hip Hop New York with Peter Guns and Rich Dollars and those guys. They were Creep Squad for real. But the Scott brothers, Martell and Chris Fletcher, ooh, that's an old man Creep Squad. That's just nasty. No, honestly, in fairness, I think they may be around the same age as Peter Guns and them. That's an old Gen X nasty Creep Squad. And they're always creeping on younger women. Joe Ellen sells the machines for treatments, I think. Oh, okay. She, medical sales, medical device sales, that's very lucrative. I could see why Gary set up straight in that glitter jacket and said, you need to call me. Don't call her job. I'll shut that down. I understand it. So she's bringing home the bacon and frying it up in a pan. And her sister's over there folding the underwear, talking about they smell good. Y'all, that was so nasty. I couldn't believe that. My two brother-in-laws are big bros to me. And I couldn't even imagine folding their underwear. I've never seen their underwear. Dang, he take to Marceau Scott. Yeah, the NDAs. Jerry Vet, cheating men are coming up with this whole new language that they're doing. So I can't imagine, y'all. That is crazy. The houses out there are so high, they need 2 incomes to pay the mortgage. Yeah, I believe that is true, American Born. Rhode Island, I'll have to say, out of the shows, has the prettiest scenery I've seen and some of the nicest houses. Them, also Salt Lake City. I'll say that about Salt Lake City as well. But as far as the homes, and then when they're shooting at the beach, they've been to the park. They did the railway excursion where they're pedaling. It's just beautiful. It's like watching a vacation. That's what I watch Real Housewives for. Aspirational, like just You get to throw away your everyday thoughts. You're not worried about news and all this kind of stuff. You're just watching it. An escape. That's what I want to mention, an escape. So we need Atlanta to take us on an escape. Now, Cynthia's doing, this is a good tie-in. Cynthia is doing a tequila event in Dallas, the #1 market for her tequila. And the chef that cooks in the mansion calls in with some behind the scenes stuff. So I'll finish up these comments, then I'll let you hear the chef's voice. He called in to the Karen Hunter show on Sirius XM. Okay, we already said about the Scotts. The houses, okay, the houses, we said that. He was talking to the Scott brothers. He had to be, unless there's some type of cheating handbook, dear Yvette. Teddy must have called in too, and he must have an NDA as well. Y'all, Teddy did an NDA, not just for the women, but some people are saying for the men's, okay? I heard that. I was watching Millie Chun, and Millie Chun said that someone had called in to Kaya and T.S. Madison years ago and alleged that they had a thing with Teddy, and the person is a fellow Teddy. That's what he said. And now there's a second man that's saying that about Tina Campbell's husband. And I just saw her online yesterday or the day before, preaching fire and brimstone. She said the devil is a liar, and she broke into no ways tied. I said, Tina, what is going on? So Tina can forgive him cheating with women, but if a man or two creeps up, Tina's going to go slap off. Teddy, you better not go. I see that's why he filed for divorce. Teddy, you better not go back over there. You see what she did to your car. That lady's not playing with you. This is terrible. AB said, I just saw that about Teddy. I was like, what? Yeah, American Born. I never put that together with him. I didn't watch Kaya and T.S. Madison. And if someone calls, how do you verify the call? But as someone who grew up in church, that is a church thing. You know, that's a church thing where they're very fluid. And then they get up there and preach fire and brimstone. Like I said, she better get tested. AB, Teddy be out here raw. And every time he came home, grown woman conversation, every time he came home, he's still raw because she would get pregnant again. So y'all, this is just disgusting. I'm with American Born. Tina's in my thoughts, not prayers, because she's holier than me and saveder than I am. So I won't proclaim to be able to do any of that for her, but she better get tested. Just real life medical advice. So let you listen to, let me find this that I found. He called in. Let me know if you can hear. Put a 1 when you can hear.
Family, so I just want to give a shout out to the Blake out there in Tampa, Florida. Thanks to you. We family, so community.
So sorry. Okay, let me go back.
What episode? It was Cynthia Bailey came out. She came out with her tequila line.
Oh, okay.
So Dallas is her #1 supporter, #1 seller city. So they did an episode in Dallas. So we cooked dinner. We had cooked dinner one night at one mansion, and then we went to another mansion and cooked dinner again. And I met Pinky. And her guy Dave. When I tell you, Pinky's so sweet and so down to earth. I mean, she's real. She's real. And then we chopped it up, and then I was telling her what I had going on, and she gave me her number and told me to send her. She told me to send her some samples of my vegan butter. So I really appreciate her. Yeah, And so she's real. Phaedra is Phaedra. Cynthia is beautiful. And then it was good to see just the behind the scenes how actual reality TV works, because we only see so much on TV. And when I tell you a camera follow them everywhere they go, I mean, they go to the bathroom, the camera right there waiting for them to come out the bathroom. It was good to see, and I liked it. And what I liked about that, too, because not the whole cast is black, but all the cameramen and production crew was all black.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, that's what made me dip back in. I was out with Nene And then Candy's not there. I was like, I'm out. But yeah, this cast there, I was saying to Pinky, y'all are actually wives. Charles Oakley's wife. You're married. Shamia's married. You know, like it's the brand is the housewives, and most of these shows ain't nobody married to nobody. So,
nobody. And then one thing, I'm gonna give you a nugget. Her and Charles Oakley wife. Hey, Pinky, she little, but she ain't no punk.
No.
I actually seen it. They went at it. You'll see the episode. I think they're gonna show. They got into it at dinner. And Pinky was like, beat this, I got my money. She was like, I didn't F no NBA player to get my money. It went down.
No. I don't know if I like that though, Chef Quaz, but don't tell nobody. I'm probably gonna be tuning in. I'm tuning in. All right. Well, listen.
All right, I'll call it. Thank you, man.
You keep it buttery, sir. Keep it buttery. And
I will.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. Now what they're talking about is that he caters and stuff like that, but he sells and makes vegan butter. He said Pinky had asked him to send her some vegan butter. So I don't know how he got the hookup, but he was cooking behind the scenes for them, and that cameras were there. Now I forgot the name of the production company, but it tracks that it would be majority Black or of color in Atlanta, because different production companies shoot for the Real Housewives franchises, kind of like whatever Carlos does over there on OWN. So that can depend on how good or how bad the experience is for the cast and crew. So you heard what he said. He said Pinky and Angela get into it, and he throws up in her face. She throws in her face. Let's see if they cut this out. I didn't have to F no NBA player to get my money. So she's really going for Angela's life. Now, Pinky, I see the part where she's saying something about I would have bought those foreclosed homes. That doesn't land as well now that we have seen a scene where she's can't even tell her husband that she's filing for business bankruptcy and is speaking about it to a lawyer and getting advice and doing the paperwork, and her husband doesn't even know. Now he referenced, I met her man Dave. Her husband's name is Derek. So I don't know who Dave is. I don't know if that's the cheesesteak guy. Yeah, I don't know. So is Pinky affiliated with the cheesesteak restaurant too? Even though she's vegan, vegan is no meat and no animal products. So Phaedra is the type of liar that will insert a little bit of truth. So Pinky did own a rib joint or something like that, but vegan and her marketing, that exploded. And the first time I ever heard of vegan was Slutty Vegan, and then kind of knew what a vegan is and what they eat or don't eat. So, and that's why Pinky went so off about, that's my brand. That's my, I don't know, Pinky. You can't get on a reality show and fake the funk. This is crazy. So yeah, I'm doing the wow face, eyes wide open like American Born. So that's some inside tea from the chef. I believe him because I've heard him call Karen Hunter before. He does cook. He does celebrity cooking and all this kind of stuff. I can't find his website, but he is legit. I've heard him before. Why doesn't she talk to her husband about this? Yeah, American Born, that's a good topic. I feel like her husband is either one of those I told you so type husbands, or maybe he really did tell her so because he said, I'm shining, I'm thriving, and you doing bad. So I think maybe Pinky's a little competitive too, and she doesn't want to go to him with this. But again, to me, their marriage is upside down and inside out. She said they started dating after they got married because she was pregnant within 3 months of meeting a man, and then they had 3 kids in 3 years. So that's a trip. So this is a good place. We're at 1 hour and 15 minutes, y'all, with just little extras. So that was Real Housewives of Rhode Island. We started out with Real Housewives of Potomac. And actually, I had promised to go back and show the cast, the new cast that's coming in for season 11, and then started talking about something else and forgot. So let me see if I can pull that up quickly, and we'll end on that. Kiwan J gave me a little bit of breaking news, breaking. Kiwan J said that she not gonna watch or cover. So, and I had thought about that because I don't dislike Robin Dixon. Sometimes I can't stand the way she moves and how she conducts herself. I really don't. I don't like the way Robin treats people and how she acts. I don't know why they won't bring up that graphic. Oh, I think they put it on Instagram. Let me see if I can find that on Instagram again. But I'm not satisfied with the cast, y'all. I'm not loving the cast. especially Ashley Darby. I can kind of see if Robin's going to share more now that she's friend of. So friend of actually doesn't have to share as much as everybody else would. So this is interesting. And then y'all, there are a couple ladies on there that I don't recognize. There's a couple ladies on there that I don't recognize. So I think some people are doing on the air kind of screening, which honestly, I love the old way. That is what they used to do down in Atlanta. They would bring on people that would shoot and they would be kind of friends of, and they would see how they would jive with the cast. And if they didn't fit in well, then they would not receive a contract. Because I remember one year, I forget, it was a really thin lady with a cute short haircut, and she was really going at Nene at a party. And Nene was like, go eat a sandwich. And then the lady said something to Nene, and Nene didn't like it. And the lady didn't, she didn't get cast. But she has been in and around the Housewives for years. But I would like to see that more so than you just giving people a flute, and then here they come and they're not really ready. So that's another slight that I think my angel received, that she didn't really get a chance to get her feet wet. And then she so spectacularly, I won't say failed, but I mean, it was just a disastrous season for her. I hate that for her. I really do. Yeah, I'll have to put this on a post because I don't want this live to go too long. And thank you so much, American Born. I love this new extra live you're doing, Sandra. Thank you so much. That gives me a chance to just put a separate live together where we throw in all the Bravo Peacock stuff and we can talk about all of that stuff because it's separate from political discourse. I haven't done one in a while. I will, but when the news is so depressing, it's hard for me to do that. But I do like the Bravo Peacock extras. Thank you for that. Thank you for everyone that dropped down in the chat and said hello and gave thoughts and insights and engaged. I always love that. And then those of you that were not here when I showed Baby Quad, let me go ahead and we can end on this. This will be good. I'll go ahead and end on this, and that'll be the best. Let me remove that. Yeah, we'll end on this. Let me see. This is Baby Quad and also Giselle, who were on Watch What Happens Live. And that was when Giselle got checked. But with this, it's kind of cute. All right, we'll let her stop. We're going to start at the beginning.
But you and my good soror, honey, said that we were recycling the girls down to the TV show. Recycling. And that we was pillaging and rummaging through the recycle bin. You said that we were bringing on new girls that were... But you and my good soror, honey, said that we were recycling the girls down to the TV show. Recycling. And that we was pillaging and rummaging through the recycle bin. You said that we were bringing on new girls that were recycled.
Oh, that was Robin.
Oh.
Robin said that.
But the thing
that was
about
Giselle.
Yes, but the thing about it is, men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't. And we've done very, very well. Yeah. I think we have actually done better than Potomac and also Salt Lake City. The numbers. I'm just saying we're good.
Robin wasn't even talking about Married to Medicine. She was talking about Atlanta.
No, she was talking about Married to Medicine too.
Okay.
And that's my Sora. That's my good
Well, you should take that up with Robin.
No, I'm just saying.
We are two different people.
No, I do understand.
Okay.
Y'all don't even look alike.
No.
But I think both of you kind of chimed in on it. I said, well, we got to talk about this.
I really don't think I did.
Yes, but we got to go back and run it.
We'll run it.
Run that beautiful
Run that thing.
Oh,
run that thing.
Are we rinsing and recycling? That's what it looks like.
Baby Choir was right. Run that. She was, and you see her Bush's Beans t-shirt, her little Bush's Beans polo. Baby Andy was shady, DG, sitting there in them socks. Whoop, whoop. He loves when they can verbally spar like that. He loves that. Good morning, CDW. Thank you so much for coming in, joining us during the live. I was wrapping it up. This cute little baby you see right here is Baby Choir when she wrapped Giselle up over there on Watch What Happens Live. Giselle came in looking pretty in pink. She didn't know that Choir was going to drag her like that. So this is the NCDW. So please be Team Replay. Team Replay, thank you so much. And when you are Team Replay, you have the opportunity to offer me one of your hypes. You only get 3 a week. It helps the growing channel and to keep me in the algorithm. And I'm getting positive feedback on the extras, so I'll keep doing them. Thank all of you. I didn't cover Beverly Hills, but I'm going to watch the reunion, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. That'll be part of an extra. So thank all of you, and I'll see you in the YouTube streets, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, hump day. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you. Cece's welcoming. Thank you so much for coming in, Cece. Good morning. Cece, thank you for joining us for the live. This was the end. I just wrapped with Baby Quad and Giselle. But all of you that joined me during the live, thank you so much. Thank you. I would definitely hype the video. Thank you, CDW. It really makes a difference. Everybody have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you. Bye.
I don't think that he's good for you. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you? That I don't think that he's good. That I